If you don't document your life, you will regret it later. Most people forget 90% of their lives, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to be one of those people. Documenting your life isn't just about nostalgia. It is about clarity, growth, and building meaning for yourself. What if you had a record? What if you had a document of not just events, but who you were, what you thought, and where you have been at multiple points in your life? What would you do if you could look back on that timeline and see how far you've come? Seeing your past self, your past thoughts, and your ideas helps you track patterns, make better decisions, and appreciate where you're at and the growth in your life. It helps us to break this cycle of constantly feeling like we're not doing enough or like we should be at a certain point by now. I know I feel that constantly, and so it is really helpful for me to have this archive of my life to reference back on and go and look and see, who I was in 2018 versus 2025. I can remember what it was like to be in my own shoes at the time and reflect on what my hopes and my dreams were at the time and how I was spending my energy and where I was in this moment that this picture was taken or this journal entry was written. Life moves really fast, and I'm realizing this more and more as I'm coming up on 30 years old in the next month. Documenting your journey helps slow it down a little bit. It helps you recognize and record individual moments because your life is made up of so many of those individual moments, and it is hard to kind of fathom the depth of all of that. Documenting your life helps you to keep track of your story, and the world rewards people who share their story, whether that's in business, content creation, or just in your personal relationships. I have been documenting my life for well over a decade at this point, and I can confidently say that this practice is not just for content creators and not just for artists and not just for people who are creative. This is for anyone who wants to create intentionality and meaning in their life, where you may feel like it does not exist, or where you may feel like your story isn't special, but I swear to you, it is, if you take the time to record and reflect on it. I picked up this practice of documenting my life in high school, kind of by accident. And I call it a practice now because it is a lot more intentional than it used to be. But I picked it up because I decided that I wanted to be a photographer in high school. And I got my first camera and I just started taking pictures of everything. I started taking pictures of my everyday life and everything that was around me because that's what I had access to. And so there are pictures of me, there are pictures of friends, there are pictures of the places we were, a lot of skateboarding pictures. It wasn't until I got to college in photography school that I learned about this language and this context and this practice of documentary photography and documenting just life through images. That's where I was able to recognize that what I had been doing naturally was in dialogue with the practice of a lot of famous artists and photographers who came before me. Big inspirations for me were like Larry Clark and Nan Goldin, especially at the time. College is also where I picked up on the practice of archiving, of journaling, of sequencing images that were related to each other. All things that when I look back on my life, what I've created, my practice, help to inform this narrative of who I am and who I have become. If you ever feel like your days are just blending together or you're not making progress, then this practice might be exactly what you need. And the reality is you're probably already doing a version of this without even realizing it. I say this because everyone has a phone in their pocket and everyone takes pictures and instinctually now documents their life. I'm just saying to apply some organization and some intentionality to what you're already probably doing. Take those pictures off of your phone, off of this massive bank of iCloud images, and start organizing them. Look back to your earliest pictures that you still have. Put them in folders by year, by events, by person. Place images next to each other that you think have meaning with each other, that are in conversation with each other. Pair that with your journal, pair that with your notes, pair that with a video, right? And just look at these things together, look at these things sequentially, and look at how they have built up over time. And I swear you will be amazed with yourself and what you have created without even realizing it. That is, to me, the most obvious way to begin. But if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, I've never done that, I don't do that, I have no idea how to do that, but I want to get started, here's a few simple ways that you can get started with documenting your life. Number one, start small. Start with voice memos, a journal entry. Start with pictures of your environment, of your surroundings, a quick video clip while you're walking to work or going to the store, a self-portrait, a selfie, right? Set up your phone and take a picture of yourself holding something that is important to you, right? That's easy enough. You probably have something like that in your home or around you. Step number two is to find a format that works for you. When I say format, I mean you could be focusing on video. You can focus on writing. You can focus on photography. You can focus on posting on social media. It doesn't have to be a public account. It can be a private account that is your document of your life. It can just be on a hard drive on your computer where you organize things like I was talking about before. And step number three for getting started is to focus on the process, not on a finished, polished product. This is for you, first and foremost. This does not have to be for anyone else. This does not have to be something that you show to anyone. This has to be fulfilling for you and for your soul. And if you're still having doubts about doing this, about why you should do it, I encourage you to think about your future self. I encourage you to think about yourself and your family in 20, in 30 years when you are trying to reflect on a story on your life because someone is curious. I know for me that I am terrified of losing my memory. I am terrified of not being able to tell stories when I am older. I am really, really thankful for the life that I have lived so far and the people that have come into my life. I don't ever want to forget that. And I'm so scared to lose that. And so I am neurotically driven by that fear to document my life. And I know that by the time I am 60, 70, hopefully 80, I will have this massive story of who I am because of that. If you're unsure, just think about that version of yourself and what they would want and what they would want to tell to people who are curious about them. And if you are watching this and you definitely want to start and you're excited about beginning this process, what's one small thing that you would document of yourself starting today? I encourage you to try and record a 1-minute voice memo or take a quick video and summarize the day you had and how it felt, and maybe talk about who you interacted with and what they mean to you. I think that will be a great place for you to start, and I think you'll be surprised with yourself at how comfortable you'll get if you build up this habit over time. I can't begin to tell you how good it feels to have gotten that out. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Let me know what you plan on going to document for yourself. And while you're down there, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, show some love to the channel, and I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well. I will see you in the next video. Peace.